And that's it. We're here. We're live with the great one, the excellent one.
What is up, Total Excellence? How is everyone in the chat doing?
Let's see. We do. We got some. We got Joe Dent is like coming in hot.
What's up, Joe?
Hayne Raven. Yeah, from the UK. I love that Joe Dent. Joe Dent also catches like all of he catches like the morning stuff and the late night stuff. So
Nice.
he's consistent. Um, I'm. Are you chit chatting or are you going to be working?
I'm gonna be working too, bud.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say like you can just talk and work. That's why I wasn't sure if you were going to show it off or not.
yeah. I don't know. You want me to show off just the Superman, or you want me to show off
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
the
Let's.
flock?
Yeah, I mean you could always show off Flock.
Gotcha.
Superman is. I don't know. I'm staying away from like what's being seen and what's not on that one.
All right. Yeah, then
Yeah,
I'll work on the flocky here.
yeah.
Hold
But real quick though, I did want to show this off. Are you familiar? Like I speak about this guy a lot. His name's Bern Hogarth. I thought this would be a book that you would be interested in
on. Okay.
because of. Let me just hear it. Sorry, I've got like. So, look, I got like wireless mice on my freaking thing here. I'm just trying to get my life in order. Yeah, so Hogarth is famous for basically illustrating Tarzan for the comic strips
Oh, okay.
during like the golden age where like the publication like you would sell a couple 100,000 papers and
Mm-hmm.
you were like as an illustrator you becoming a cartoonist in the newspapers was really what got all the attention and he wrote 5 books. This one is like his philosophy on shading and using black and white with like you can kind of say within like comic
Oh
panels.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but see like so I call this like this is like triple stacking and you see
Yeah.
guys like Andy Kubert do this a lot where the silhouette is in the foreground but then there's kind of like a middle ground and then
Mm-hmm.
there's like the background and then there's like beyond that, and it's all done through just stacking like the black and white, and you see some of it like here, like it's like again, like you fill in the rabbit, and it's just like he's so good with the way
Wow.
the way how he thinks about it, the way how he talks about it, and when I was growing up, these books were in like every single
Beautiful.
interview. Like you
Mm-hmm.
always heard about Bern Hogarth, and everyone's inspiration was Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and Star Wars. Like
Wow.
that was it. And so I was like a teenager, like
Jeez, man.
maybe like a freshman in high school, and I
Yeah.
stole these out of my local mall because they were expensive, like at the time. So I stole them.
Wow.
I still have like all my originals, and I
Holy
still
cow.
and I still use them. And he like when it comes to lighting and shading, I would say like this is my absolute weak spot. Like I'm not like even here, like like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have the instincts to shade the face exactly like this, even if I'm cross hatching.
Yeah.
So I've been keeping this at my side now at the drawing table to really
Wow.
like tighten like just like just tighten things up and remind myself. And then look, see we see someone like the comic book level work.
Mm-hmm.
So like these now, like you can get used ones off Amazon for like hardly anything, but they're invaluable. They really are. Like even here, like how many people have you seen?
Oh my God. Rendering
Like
water like that?
yeah.
That is ridiculous, man.
So
That's not easy.
yeah, and just to highlight a little bit of, because look, I keep them at arm's reach.
Yeah.
Like this is his wrinkles one, and like this one used to have a cover, but I kind of like used it up. And he teaches the principles of drawing wrinkles.
Oh wow. dude, that is wow.
Like the
Dude,
way
that's
how
ridiculous.
like just the way he breaks it down, like how the joints kind of create the
Yeah,
folds
the
and the
rings and
bends.
folds. Got it. Wow, man.
So he and
Holy cow.
then like the one that really is like the one. This is foreshortening,
Yeah.
and you can see like how much of the like
Jeez, man.
I might have shown this off before, but
Mhm.
this is the one I remember highly in freshman year of high school that I would like argue with my art teacher about, because the art teacher would be wrong about like the way how she wanted us to draw things. And I'll be like, no, like the nipples are 45 degrees from like the collarbone,
Mhm.
and like here he kind of talks about what some of these quick measurements are, and just the way that, like you think about anatomy, and like it's there, like it really is, like these books are kind of like the gospel, like in my opinion. But let me show you like the one trick he had. I'm trying to find his like some of it, but like I should really do videos on these.
Yeah, no,
Just
man. I mean,
just
like,
oh yeah, right here. So real quick,
wow.
so someone has see how like he like the hand where it's like like he tells you kind of what some of the shapes are, and
Right.
this is because based on just how the fingers are going to fall down, like this is, and then it's like he gives you, it's like you have to practice, like you
Yeah,
have
of
to
course.
practice, and you have to like draw it this way to memorize it. But his tips are just like they really are the absolute best, and I don't know like any other like artist or book that came out that measures up against these, like
Yeah, no,
here
dude.
too. Like yeah, see,
Mhm.
look, if we draw
Wow.
45-degree line outward from the center of the body, that's where we get our nipples.
Wow. Yeah, no,
Like
dude.
it's just stuff like
Crazy.
that. But I thought you would like just appreciate some of that.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, honestly, like half the stuff I'm seeing, like how he does the shadow work, like especially like these head, like isolating the head pieces and stuff. It looks like 3D. Like it is ridiculous, man. I mean, like when was that book came out? Like in the late 80s, or when did it?
Like I'm pretty like that's actually a really good question. I thought these books were from the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, like I like, and let's find like let's see if it says
Yeah. What year is it distributed?
anything. Yeah,
Because, dude, the shadow work, it's 3 dimensional. Like there was just
yeah.
no way.
It says copyrights 1970, but
Okay.
that also could be this edition. Like that could be
Yeah, like a
like
reprint, basically.
yeah. Because sometimes like the comic book stuff does the multiple editions because they're like collectible and magazines do it.
Yeah.
But not all publications list everything. But either way, yeah, I guess like there's not much in here about the history of it. And you know what, too? Like maybe it's in like I don't know which one. Oh yeah. So maybe like this one. Dynamic Anatomy. This was like the first one. But he's got like 5 books.
Okay.
Yeah, see, like this one, like the original copyright is 1959. First
Jeez
printing
Louise.
1990. Yeah, so
Holy
this is
crap.
first printing paperback.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like then we get into, but see, like even here, like I think the only one I don't have is how you draw faces, but
Mhm.
his measurements even for here, like see how like he
Wild.
cuts the eye, a certain way, so you can kind of fold the eyelids, or like see like how he just kind of like deconstructs like this right here. See, like that's how the eye looks.
Yeah. Holy
Is
crap.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, man. No, I am zoned in.
And this is a guy by today's standards. He's forgotten. Look, we got one of my old sketches right here. Got gotta draw the babes.
Yeah, man. Puberty hits hard, and you're like,
Yeah.
you draw some anatomy.
Yeah. Let me just crack open a penthouse, which is probably what that's from. Like, this is even interesting.
Oh,
Like
wow.
the way how he measures the clavicle
Yeah, man.
through the center of the head
That's
to put the
nuts.
head in the right position.
Very technical stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is where, like, if you
Wow.
draw it enough, if you draw from here enough, like, you kind of build up the instinct, so that, like, when you draw the back, you kind of understand, like, how to overlap things, like right here, like overlap, so it's coming this way.
Hmm.
Like, that's where it's important. But it really it becomes something else when you memorize it. It really does. Like, even here, like, I remember, like, his tips for drawing lips is like an M.
Oh,
So
wow.
he kind of goes into, like, the different ways to draw, like, an M for, like, just lips.
Wow.
It's just, like, really, yeah. So, like, I guess, like, these were published between, like, 1958 through 1970 at some time.
Damn.
And I thought I had them all, but I guess I'm missing the heads one. I'm missing one after all these years.
Right.
I'm probably going to order that off of Amazon now. Let's just see. Let's look things up on Amazon while we're live.
Yeah, right.
But oh crap! I had a question for you.
Yeah, no problem.
Because earlier we were talking about the flock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because look, that's like your book. Like, like I like talking about it. I like promoting it. Is that like the Sky had? Do you know? Is that like a limited series? Is that regular? Does he have like a is he telling a story, or is he just going issue by issue?
As far as I remember, when I was talking with Scott earlier, I think maybe the last 2 weeks. I mean, because we were meeting each other up like every week, and
Yeah.
I've been asking him questions too about that. Like, because I know like his plan is that at least for like he's doing it issue by issue, and every story that you jump on is going to be a new story.
Okay.
So yeah, so like I feel like if you read, like, I know the only thing that's a consistent story is issue 1 and 2, but when you jump to issue 3, then it's a new story. It's a new villain he's introducing. Even in issue 4, it's a new
Yeah.
story. It's like again, it's an all ages comic, so he has that in mind. Like, he wants kids to read the book, but also adults to enjoy it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they want his goal is just families or loved ones to sit together and read the comic together, and it's like something where you can jump onto it. Even with issue 5, like, again, you can it's like the same thing. It's the same formula. It's like you can jump onto the series. You don't need to have some kind of history behind who or what the flock is, or the Gooseman or Gosling.
It's just kind of like one-offs. But
exactly.
yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, but like that popped into my head earlier when we were talking about it, and I'm just like, what? It's like I don't even know the format of the book. Like, I don't know how to like speak of it, which kind of just out of a commentator like interview questioning standpoint is poor. It's bad form for me not to get that question answered like relatively early.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even for those that are watching, whether live or pre-recorded, it's for free to read on globalcomics.com. I'll even like drop down the link for you dudes.
Yeah,
so
I think
you can like have a good idea, because again, it's like what you said before. It's like a one-off story. Like, anybody can jump onto it. Like, there'll be like little things here and there where like how did Edward, like his sidekick, know that his Uncle Huck is the Gooseman, and you're gonna find out in issue 2 how, like, again, it's very straightforward. I think that's the thing I really appreciate Scott in his storytelling, because every story, like there's like this cardinal rule where issue 1, you got to have an origin story. Everyone has to know the origin story of it.
yeah.
And
And
he just goes, and he even told me too when we were like talking. He's like, yeah, no, like pretty much like I just want to jump to the action, like just start in the middle and worry less about origin or how, just little by like he'll give bits and pieces for you to give hints, like he'll give a little hint again with issue 2. I think in issue 2 it gives little hints of like Edward and like how he knew about the Gooseman, and a little bit of his best friend Jackie Oakes, you know.
yeah, that's okay. No, I like that. I kind of like the idea of just jumping into it. Like when people talk superhero hero fatigue when it comes to the Marvel movies and DC stuff, I think that's one of the ideas that they're flirting with that they haven't defined yet. It's like people will never get tired of superheroes. They won't ever get tired of superhero movies, but they're kind of. I can see people getting tired of just like origin movies that don't really lead to sequels and other things. I think people just rather watch like fantastic adventures and people with powers doing like really cool things. But we're going to add the banner real quick right here. I'm just going to update it. Read the flock for free. Here we go. Put that in. Read the flock for free right here. Yeah, we're going to have you leading. Since you're doing mostly, you got most of the visuals right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
here we
problem,
go.
bud.
Yeah, here we go. Joe's going to have a look.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Globalcomics.com, the flock. Yeah. And that's what these things are all about too. It's if you can connect with one person out there that wouldn't know who you were otherwise, like you've done your job, because probably the revenue you would have to spend, like think about it, like to get someone to connect with you through advertising, you would probably like you would spend like the hour it would take to live stream and potentially be there for someone that's looking for something different.
Hmm.
But like maybe just speaking of the flock, maybe let me just bring up a little bit of Bruce Tim reference
Okay.
going from earlier. Maybe I'll just practice my Bruce Tim styling.
Oh yeah, I remember you were talking about that like earlier from your early streams, which I was surprised too, man. It's like you started early, just like me. It
Yeah,
was
like
fun. I had fun.
yeah, like like that's a part of it. It's just look, like you're going to ebb and flow when it comes to like productivity, consistency. Like I call it like maintaining the ship. But and
Right.
then along the way, it's like like you have to pay bills, you have to get a job, you have to educate yourself, you have to have a girlfriend, you have to go out, like, and then like life starts happening. So it's like what will you do? Like what's the solution? And
Right.
usually, that's kind of where, like when it comes to me, a lot of the people I was doing a lot of this stuff with, they just fall off. Like
Hmm.
they just kind of like slowly give it up, and then a couple years go by, and you run into them, and the first thing, like one of the first questions I always get is like, are you still drawing? Like, are you still doing
Right.
the comics? Are you still doing this? And the question's always like, yes, but I'm also like, well, I do kind of have a career now. Like I'm not just kind of like hitching my horse on only one wagon.
Yeah.
And like that's a part of the balance. But I always thought, like, for you though, like as quickly as you got into having people on and promoting campaigns and just kind of like pushing pushing that side of things, uh like sometimes like you wait for like people to come to you, like,
Hmm.
and that's really what it is. Like you're just advertising yourself and hoping that you kind of can reach enough people to where you can sell things through like the live stream, and you can kind of build like an audience that's going to purchase things, you know but
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
it's been like I'm sorry, but it's been like a few years now between just like what you and I are doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, yeah, that was like my game plan when I started my YouTube channel is when I was learning how to color. So
yeah,
it was basically like what was it? Like I was learning how to color comics for Clip Studio, which was perfect because I
yeah,
already had like a good idea of like how to work Clip Studios and stuff, but I learned some new things and new features that I had no clue that Clip does, and then I felt like, well, what'll be a better way for me to, not only keep myself, uh, you know, to keep myself to be consistent, but also seeing my progress. So that's when I started doing these live streams where, like literally my first live stream, like I could see like day one me versus 3 months later, like, oh, hey, look, I learned something new. Or, hey, look,
yeah.
here's this challenge where, I'm gonna have this character who has like a flaming sword. Like I'm gonna look at some references how I can make that flaming sword reflect on the other character and what color it
Right.
would affect my colors whenever I do like a certain brush, something along those lines. And in another way, shape, or form, like I want to do something where, you know, I didn't want to do mainstream. I want to just promote indie creators. So I think that's another way of me even connecting more with
Yeah.
uh, growing my circle in a way. So I would just, grab a page and, usually people would give permission. I tend to like to surprise people when I do it because, like how many people do you know that would, you know, either just do a fan art or yeah, just do a fan art or just even cut like do a fan coloring out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
do I need to ask you like let's say this like Peter, should I ask you if I want to do a fan like I
Right.
think I even did one I think that's another way of me even approaching you too when I saw like one of your characters for Trial by Fire. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah. It
these
was.
characters look cool.
Yeah. Like it was like Pitbull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And look, that's the. I think that's kind of like the powerful thing here. I just think, and I kind of want to say it slowed down a little.
Hmm.
For sure. Like I think a lot of the like I don't know if you kind of read the tea leaves the same as me, but it's I just feel like a lot of the basic crowdfunding like hype and excitement it did die down.
Yeah.
But I also feel like maybe like people aren't like crazy for it. They're not really spending money. And maybe like there's like a lot of these older characters really never took off when it comes to crowdfunding.
Hmm.
Like it's just like kind of like a lack of interest type thing. And I think that's a part of it too, where it's like, some of these ideas that these characters kind of represent, um, just off of a character sense, like they take some of them can take years and years to really develop, and like that's indie comics though, because you have limited funding, and you also have limited time to nail what the ideas are, and
Right.
then it's like you kind of have to cross your fingers that people want more of it.
Hmm.
I do feel like people got burned out from crowdfunding though.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. I think one, people are burned out from crowdfunding, and I think two is like I think creators who are coming out of the gate realize like, oh geez, like this is really expensive to, do this.
Yeah,
And because of that is like, that's when you see a lot of these um up and coming creators like just vanish out of nowhere. Luckily for me, like those that I've networked with and talked to, like you, Scott was another one that was stay consistent and so on and so forth. Like I lucked out having connections with people that were that I talk with and they're still consistent with it.
yeah, and like it's I just feel like too that the like a bulk of the like I just want to say like audience and the people that were purchasing a lot of things, they kind of consolidated like you know, like it really seems like everyone just follows like a few people now, and like that's it. And
Right.
there's not a lot of traction for newer ideas and newer voices, and some of that, like it legit could be fair. Like it just could be like like the stuff's not good enough to promote.
Hmm.
Like it's like you if you're gonna put your like name on something, even like if it's on the stream, like you kind of want um like like you want it to be good. And I just think there was a time where people would just let anyone on their stream to promote their book.
Right.
And I just think some of that is over. I think some of those people got like burned out and just doing the stream with like 20 different people on, and everyone has 5 minutes to talk about their book. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, like like maybe that doesn't do anything. I don't know if that does. I don't know. But but um but either way, like it's the goal should always be to get as good as possible. Like the better you are, like you cannot be denied forever that people are not going to be interested on some level.
Yeah, no,
So
definitely. Yeah, I do believe like I do agree. Like I think it's been slowing down, like especially for indie creators that want to go onto shows and promote their books and stuff. And I think one is burnout, and I don't think, and I'm not saying like burnout as in for creators. I think it's burnout for like having a relationship with these creators and like like and for them being kind enough, like they even back their books. And next thing you know, it's like, okay, where the heck is my book? It's
yeah,
been how long, how many years?
yeah, I
And
am guilty of that. Like I mean, it gets You're I think you're 1,000. Like it's there, but I don't know. I think it's always the goals should always to be like like the one thing I learned is that you kind of have to do it all yourself. And the more you can do by yourself, the more ability that you're like it's just tough. Like because as soon as you put work in someone else's hands, like you're at their mercy, and
mhm.
then they're also going to double your budget. Like it doesn't like now, and so imagine if you're just a writer, like, and you have to
Oh
hire
yeah,
penciler, inker, colorist, and someone to letter it. Like it's like you're not going to have enough money to pay those people well enough to do good work. And that's kind of where like I'm at with TBF, where I'm just kind of like I'm chipping away at coloring it, and I'm not showing much of it off because I'm not that far. Like once I get closer, but
hmm
at the same time, it's like you know, as soon as I bring someone else in, it's just number one, like I'm not going to learn what I need to at this point to color faster. So there's that. Like, like that's a whole like workload issue.
yeah,
And I don't know. Like it gets frustrating sometimes too. Like it really does.
yeah. No, definitely. I have like I have I feel bad for writers because writers they have the worst end out of an artist. Because at least with an artist, like you just hope and pray, like this writer writes well, and it's like you don't need to draw like I don't know 50 ships in a splash
Yeah.
page or something, and hope to God that like the deadline is manageable. Um, but at least with writers, like they have it hard. It's like what you said is like a list of things. Like you hope to have a penciler, inker, a colorist, and whatever, and hopefully you as a writer like you letter your own work. Otherwise, it's even twice. I mean, I know some artists where like they'll do like all three. Like they will
Yeah.
pencil, ink, and do they'll do the lettering, which will be much more easier on the. And besides, they'll even do a they'll break a deal for them and whatnot. But again, that's like under the table type of thing, you
Yeah.
know. Um, what is it? But yeah, like other than that, like I would hear horror stories where either they, again, it's indie stuff, like even if they don't put them under contract, like they will just, they just want to flake out in the middle of the book,
Yeah.
or worse comes to worse, they agree like the page rate, and then all of a sudden, hey, I want my page rate to increase, and you're like, what do you mean you want to increase your page rate? You've agreed, and like, this is my set budget. It's like, now all
Yeah.
of a sudden you want to increase your page rate. It's like, come on, man. It's like, at least
Yeah.
finish the project, and then if we're gonna do issue 2 or whatever the next series, like, okay, then we'll negotiate a new page rate. But don't ask an increase once you're in the middle of the project and you agree on it. That's not cool.
Yeah. Like there's some, like, if you have like good enough like freelancer like contracts,
Yeah.
like your freelancer contract should kind of dictate that, like, time wise you will cover up to like 8%, like over, like it's kind of like 8 to 12%. And basically, like, what that clause does, it gives you the opportunity as a contractor. Oh, here we go. We got Devil Flyer. What's up, bud? Um, like, so as a contractor, you have a window to say, to go back to your client and say, hey, guess what? Like, we got complications. We got, we ran into this type of issue, act of God, whatever, right?
Mhm.
And you can say, it's going to take this much more time, and it's going to be over like our 10%. So we were
Right.
going to like we were going to cover you up to 10% more, but now we're breaching that. So we kind of have to, like, like, renegotiate like this next portion.
Mhm.
And that kind of gives you a little bit of a window too for the client to be happy, make corrections. But if the client's like being like a bad vendor, essentially,
Right.
like, you can kind of just be like, look, like, we're breaching that threshold. Like, you have to make a call, like, and it puts the pressure back on them, and they kind of, it does protect everyone. Like, it kind of, like, you're protected in extra work, and they're protected in what they want to get, essentially. But
Mhm.
that's the stuff we used to do at the studio. Like, and like, that will come up like all the time, because you could be working on the website, and they can come to you and be like, hey, we need like 3 more. Like, at the time, like, everything was like by the page, and they would be like, hey, we need like 3 more pages.
Oh
And it's just
God.
like, oh god, like, okay, we have to do like a lot more work just to add those 3 pages. And then it's just like, okay, like, let's agree on the rate to add on, like, almost just like a bonus, almost like
Mhm.
bonus pages for you, bonus money for the studio.
Right.
But yeah, but that's looking pretty cool
Thanks,
right
bud.
now.
Yeah, this is a
Devil Fly.
homage. Yeah, this is a homage cover of New York's World's Finest Comics.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where they're, yes, with Robin in the middle, and it's yeah, Superman, and yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, like, what was it? Freaking Scott was showing me other covers of like Superman and Batman, like all the wacky covers that he's like,
Yeah,
bro, this is a type of stuff that I want to do whenever I'm doing covers for the flock. And we would just die laughing at just the insanity, like these golden age and early silver age comic covers. It was just pure wackiness.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, like, it also was a children's market at the time. I think that's
Mhm.
what, like, that is a little. I mean, like, Devil Flyer right here would probably be able to address some of that. Where, like, at one time, uh, the comic book market strictly was for children, and
Yeah.
then what happened was, like, this almost like second generation came up, and the publishers kind of were realizing that the characters have to age with the audience. And
Mhm.
from that point on, from like probably about like the 70s on, uh, it never went the other way. like it really was only like the characters are going to get older, more mature, they're going to get more violent, they're going to get darker, and that's a slow paradigm shift. Like
Yeah.
again, like thousands of issues were published 70s, 80s. It wasn't really until like we hit the 90s. But even now it's like, like you don't get this interpretation of a hero now without some grittiness. Like
Right.
it just doesn't happen. And the Flock would be one of the exceptions where the Flock is more of a callback and just Scott's approach to the character and treating it as like a property. Grok Comics, very much like that. Like that's why I call him like the modern day DC Comics.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
definitely.
thank right, Desco. Yeah, thank you. We're just going through a couple chats here. Yeah, the old Dick Sprang are always lots of what we never. Yeah, that's true. But like that, you gotta remember too. The like that's the fantasy of a kid. Like the fantasy of the kid is having oversized things. Because like to you, everything as a child, everything's oversized.
Oh,
And
definitely.
there's like a meta thing happening too with that Sprang Batman stuff, which
Yeah.
is I guess now canon after the Grant Morrison work,
Oh, holy
which
crap!
is
I just looked at your artwork, dude. This is looking good, man.
you want to switch it up? Thank you. Hold up here. How did
Uh oh. Oh
do
no.
do that?
There we go.
Yeah, so we can get a little bit bigger. But yeah, we're. I was kind of just debating on the position of his power, his
Hmm.
jetpack, because I had it going this way, like that. But then I'm like, should it go up, right?
Right.
Like should it go up? I don't know. And yeah, of course I'm going to draw it like a little bit bigger. But then and then what are you doing social media wise? Are you doing anything new as of like I know you're kind of busy Monday through Friday now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I know that takes away weekdays, right, for you to maybe get on and stream and kind of organize things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with my 9 to 5, even though it's not really 9 to 5. Um, yeah, it eats up a lot of my time, and I tend to lose opportunities of coloring jobs. And it's not like covers. I have no problem. Covers, I can like spend a
Yeah,
good like a whole day or maybe even like 48 hours just to dedicate a cover, because at least with that, like, it has to be the, like, the attention grabbing first thing you see that grabs your attention.
yes,
But when it comes to like interior work, like, I would lose coloring jobs because like, they just don't like my turnaround time, and they would
right,
rather have somebody that does coloring full time. And I don't take a grudge against that. And like, it's a business, and with businesses, you got to do what you got to do, what's best for you and your book.
right. Yeah, I mean, like I get that, but it's still kind of like, uh, like that, like I get it, but I'm still kind of like like unless you're shipping serious numbers, like
Hmm.
just product, but like unless you're shipping in the thousands, deadlines mean nothing.
Hmm.
It doesn't, like if you're shipping in the hundreds, if you have a print run of a few hundred, your stuff can be a week late. It can be a month late. It doesn't matter. And that's where like the goal should always be to never bargain hunt. I think like I've been debating doing kind of like a long form YouTube series on like two things. One of them's like the destruction of the American comic book industry, which
Hmm.
would be like 10 to 12 episodes.
Definitely.
And then the other one would be like kind of like the complex, like the mental model, like how to make a better book, how to make a better product. and it would just be me just regurgitating a lot of these errors I've been seeing repeated throughout all these years, like going back to like some of my early days. And you know,
Definitely.
some of it too is like I think a lot of publishers think of their work too highly. Like they're too into their own work, and
Mhm.
they don't look at it like, hey, I can delay my book by this much, but it's going to elevate this level of quality. Like you never hear that, but that's exactly what the approach should be. I think that, like Devil Flyer has a little bit of that in them, but it's just like I don't know. Like I just think let's just put you in there. Oh, did you take yourself off? Hello. Okay. We may have lost our boy here, guys. Let's hope that he comes back. Well, anyway, how's everyone doing? Welcome to Saturday Night Hangout. We got some awesome people here. Sorry, we're just checking messages real quick. Yeah, I know. We yeah, we'll keep that up. We better. Here we go. I think he's back. I think he's back. Here you go. He's back, everyone.
Yeah, I am so sorry. All I did was unplug my headphones so I can keep hearing you. And next thing I hear is like, "Oh, you locked yourself off." I'm like, "What?"
Son of a bitch.
But
Nah,
yeah,
it's don't worry about it, bud. It is like I said, I'm happy to live in an age that we can live stream without a satellite connection.
yeah, right.
Like, you know, like it's you know, it's there. Yeah, I don't know like what pose I could have done for the I guess I should have went for like an action pose. I just did like more or less him flexing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why he would flex. Like, why the fuck would this guy flex? Come on. Like, here we go. By my comic book character, this he's an egotistical maniac.
I mean, his personality is being charismatic, so I mean, you captured him.
Oh, actually, geez, yeah. Oh my god, there you go. But I kind of like. I'm debating on. I'm just trying to get some of his, like some of this just right. Yeah, and then I'm debating. Should I just like add these like streaks and then like almost color like this would be like a spectrum almost, like it would just
Okay.
be like a rainbow, and
Hmm.
you know like and he's kind of like doing a like I don't know like a psychedelic streak almost.
Okay.
I don't know like you know like these are hey, this is what happens when you draw and you stare at something, like you put stories in your head, like it
Yeah,
helps you
definitely.
kind of work out some of those details. But I don't know, like I kind of was like just thinking like it should be kind of like a you know like what's that like the more you know, like have you ever seen that promo like the more you know?
Oh, the little star that makes a rainbow.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean.
that's
Yeah, like
becoming like a meme now,
it
and it's
is.
just so
Yeah,
hilarious.
but that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what he's doing. Like he's the star in that promo.
Mm,
I
the
don't
more
know.
you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Let's get into some of these inks right now. But oh, here we go. We got you working right here. We're just going to take away your head, and then we're going to. Can we do like a big split, like this? No, like that. Um, and we just do this one, and we add right there. And but this is the one we want. Maybe okay. We'll stick with this one for now. But yeah, we're doing modern coloring with traditional inking. which is blasphemous when it comes to the world today. Here we go. So, we still like to draw things with action, with movement. We may have had. I'm just double checking what all of the settings are. Here we go. You don't know when people go silent sometimes. Hey, all this is still tricky. Yeah, it's not about just pressing a couple buttons. And it's always. Sorry, I'm stuttering here with some of my decisions when it comes to what lines I'm choosing. But always go for action over anything, even if it's someone just like sitting still or resting. The goal should always be to draw that character as dynamically as possible. We're jointly working on the flock. We got the colorist cranking out some pages here, and I'm just doing like a FAN piece. I'm kind of like a person that admires this indie book. So I'm just doing like a fan piece. That's all. But Troll, how's everything? We're gearing up. Did you get into the new AEW pay-per-view? Cause I missed it. I'm kind of like upset, but it looked pretty good though. Like the Jericho match definitely looked interesting. The Iron Man match. I heard nothing but good things about that Iron Man match. We're kind of messing up this arm a little bit here. Yeah, like for sure. Like the elbow and the tricep are not intersecting the right way. So that's a problem. I kind of like the idea that he has these like sweater, like he's got these like sweater bumps on his wrist here. Kind of like they're kind of Black Widowy, but they're not. Yeah, thank you. You know, like that, dude. Like Joe, it's that's the fun. No joke. Like that's the fun of doing this stuff. Let me just check messages. But yeah, people like we like working, and you know, like the idea too. Like once I dedicated, like once I kind of knew what was happening with like my free time. Like once I said to myself, like I'm going to use all my available time for this. Like I'm going to kind of like fully get back into comics and illustration, and like I never really left it, but I was going to kind of approach it at a much different level than previously. And then I just fell in love with the idea of just being able to do stuff live. I just think it unnerves you. It makes you such a better artist. But thanks, Joe. Like always, dude. Like you fuel my fire, dude. But all of you guys, everyone in the chat right now, like you guys are a part of it. So thank you. Don't forget, we got new videos out there YouTube wise. Like those videos. Leave a comment if you can. Show them to your friends. Remember, we are a pet friendly network. Show those videos to your pets. They love them. There we go. Sometimes you see that moment when you really start cooking. Yeah, no, no, for sure. Like here we go. Like what? How we end here, Joe? Like you nailed it, dude. Like you, I guess like that's what I've been chipping away at of defining. I think you just did that for me. It's you get the confidence. You get the confidence when you come out of the woods and you're doing stuff live. Let me see. Just make sure my volume's on. You know what, guys? Too. Speaking of confidence, the one freaking thing I wanted to do today, which was to get my drawing table in order. Yeah, and get like some of my production room in order. And it's not like a complete like filthy mess, but it's not the way I like it. I'll say that. Did not get to do that today. And this is where, like, we're getting to the point in this piece where I'm just getting, like, I get effing excited. I really do. And it's like sleep means nothing, rest means nothing. We do a lot of strength training, which helps when you're sitting at the desk for a long time, which is why we go to the gym as much as we do. So I don't have to worry about getting sore or any of that stuff like some of these old timers, these old Facebookers complain about. And there are plenty of them that complain about that stuff on Facebook. The amount of people that I follow that make comics, just on Facebook alone, that to what I believe have mental illness on some level is absolutely staggering. It's staggering. Like, it's almost like your entire feed. Yeah, Troll, all of those are from my library. They're from my collection. And I was going to there was a 2018 blog post that I may have mentioned in the previous stream or video. And my intention was to bring people through that blog post from 2018 that detailed more items of comments and release schedules and all these other things regarding like April O'Neil. And it was laid out perfectly, and it addressed every single one of these issues one by one, all the way back in 2018, like 5 years ago. But essentially, when I realized that some of what was in that blog post I was just like, you know what? I was like these 3 items, these 3 notes, these 3 ideas are enough. So it was just like, bleh. And I'll stand by it. I did not want to make that video. I don't feel comfortable kind of making the video in that way, but it gets to the point where you're just like, geez, like the stuff just needs, like, it just needs to be said. It's the level of insanity now that's surrounding that character. I don't understand it. Like, it's not that big. It's not even like a battleground type thing. I don't get it. I wish I did. I really do. But yeah, I'm very dedicated to my library. Like, for example, for Stan Lee, for Stanuary, like, I've curated so much Stan Lee material just to read about the guy and, dare I say, change some of my opinion, change some of my general thoughts on Stan Lee. And I was aggressive about that. Like, I just said to myself, I need these books. Some of the books, like, not too expensive, but actually one of them was, and I didn't even do a video on it. Didn't even do a video. So, hey, if we add this, can we talk to our boy if I add that? I don't know if private chat right here. Jeez. I'm back. Okay, we're back. Let's remove this. Let's see. Add to stream, remove, re-add. Yeah. Why does it do that? Like, do we? Here we go. And what happens if we do this one? Iski, can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you fine, bud.
Yeah. Can you hear me on the coloring one, or is it just the icon?
No. Like I heard you all the time when you put me backstage.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't be able to like talk and interact with you.
Okay. Well, that's your fault. Everybody wants to interact with me.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Troll Heyman. When I
Yeah,
saw
isn't
that, I'm like, dude,
he's
this is.
he's he's becoming like, isn't he the new like Harry Penn? What happened to Harry Penn?
I don't know, man. Harry Penn has became Troll Heyman.
Yeah, like wouldn't that be something?
I don't know. How is Harry Penn? Do you know
I
what
I,
happened to him?
he was on Twitter for a little bit. I would check in on him. Yeah,
Okay,
like just
good.
got kind of like DM stuff, and I would say he was maybe on Twitter for like a month, and that's it. Like haven't seen him since then, and that was dude, that was a while ago,
Oh wow.
and it sucks because that dude was funny.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I mean, there was just like we were just going back and forth with the idea of it too. And I think the funny thing too now is like there's becoming like this thing now where like people are creating comics based on people who are very active on like these live streams,
Yeah,
and like Frog G is like now he's his own comic book character,
yeah,
and it's just wacky too, and how they just created just a guy who's super active on every live stream who has a wrench, and now he has his own comic book and origin story behind it.
dude, I love it. You know, like I think there's truth to like some of that stuff where, like why not? It's just like because you know what it is, you could like you kind of have talented people. Like those are who's like you're on those streams, right? Like so,
Hmm.
like Troll here, like Troll Heyman, he's always in. Like Joe Dent's always in. Uh, we get like a bunch of these guys, but Troll Heyman's like, hey, uh, like he's coming where the talented people are, which is like you and me. Right,
Definitely.
and then at the same time, like, does it matter what we're working on? Like, I don't
Hmm.
think it does.
Hmm.
Like, like I guess like my position is that talented people, like I'm talking, like this is why like someone like Tom Cruise is in Tropic Thunder. Okay, like so, right, like talented people can touch anything. They can touch anything, and they elevate it. And there's always like a deep down challenge that you want to elevate the absolute most obscure craziest idea, like because that's the true test. And if Joel Heyman's like, hey, I'm kind of popular now, like I'm popular, people love me, let's try and sell a comic, it would just be like, wow, like let's see if we can do it. There's so much more about the challenge of that. Or like Cecil kind of blowing up the way he did. And I guess, did Cash Grab ever come out?
I mean, I
I
remember
don't.
seeing pages of it.
Yeah, like I know Donna, like the Don Donnell was
Donald
working on
DeLay.
him. Yeah, Donna. Yeah, he was, right. Wasn't he? Or is he working on the second one? I don't know, but I guess it did come out. Like I'm just like trying, like I'm having like a recall here
Right.
because I did see people working on the second issue. I
Hmm.
don't know, but it's like, but that's the whole thing. Like it's more challenging to sell something that shouldn't be sold.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I feel like Troll Heyman is a man that helps represent talent that needs a push.
Yeah, he's also like informative because he knows
Oh,
about
that's
wrestling.
awesome.
Like he knows
Of
about
course,
wrestling.
man. You and I love wrestling, so I think this is
Yeah,
such like a good jump on topic. I don't know. It just feels so weird now, where you know I feel like now WWE is finally starting to push their talent now, and I think because of AEW being in the being like finally like their rival competition,
yeah,
and I just feel like too um it's like I don't know, it's like it took like Roman Reigns like literally a decade of his career just to finally have this one good gimmick where
yeah.
he's a tribal chief and his cousins, like I don't know if they're either blood related. I think they are, or
I
maybe
think
they just.
they're all the Rock's like cousins.
Yeah, I just know with
Roman and
Samoans.
Roman
I
and
just
the Usos.
Yeah, I just know within the Samoans, like even if they're not technically blood related, it's all
Right,
about based on their tribe, which is
right,
another
yeah,
cool factor to it too. You know.
yeah. But here's the funny fact. Uh, I think the most WrestleMania headlines is 8. Like Hulk
Okay.
Hogan, like of the first 10 WrestleManias, Hulk Hogan headlined 8 of them.
Oh my
Isn't
god,
that crazy? But I
that's
think Roman,
bonkers.
yeah, and I think Roman this year is headlining his 7th or 8th.
Wow.
And that's like how do we like look at that, because you don't think of him on like he's been really good the last few years,
Mm.
but to think that he's headlined 8 WrestleManias, like as many as Hogan, that's, I don't know, like I like but what they have working now though is really cool. I think he's a great heel. I think he seems invincible.
Yeah.
And then like what are they doing with like Brock? Are they just burying Brock Lesnar? Like Brock Lesnar is now like a mid carder.
There's no way. Trust me, with Brock Lesnar, how they've like they basically made him like a human tractor. It's like anyone that like he's just like like instead of like burying people, like he's literally gonna like detract your career if you win a title belt, and that's the bottom
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, like he's just like kind of like out, and Seth Rollins, they've completely
Oh, they
like,
completely changed his whole gimmick, and I do not understand what he's trying to be.
yeah, like and he, dude, I loved it when he was the Kingslayer. I
Oh my
loved it
god,
when,
yeah, dude.
dude, so and like what was the one like gimmick where it was right before Kingslayer, but he was like the anarchist, right? Like his logo had like a bullet, like a crosshairs, and it was all fire.
Yeah,
But
right.
that was a great theme song too, dude. He was
Oh my god.
like he was so on fire for like the longest time. I really thought he was going to be like a 10-20 year champion at that point. But he's like, who's he? Is he wrestling Logan Paul? Is he wrestling Logan Paul at
Yeah,
WrestleMania?
yeah, but Logan
Jesus
Paul,
Christ!
listen,
People
man,
like,
look.
yeah,
I mean, honestly, like whether you love him or hate him, I am honestly surprised. Like, and besides, he's being trained by Shawn Michaels, so
yeah.
he's gonna be good.
Well, he's also athletic. He's a former wrestler. Like
Yeah,
he's he was, I think he was Division 1.
that's crazy.
Like he actually had like a like a college wrestling record. So, but yeah, I just don't like. I get it, but Seth should be one of your like top guys. Like uh he should Logan Paul should just go up against like Mike the Miz. Should be Logan and like the Miz, because they kind of fit.
hmm I think
Bring back,
I think they'll fit better if they were like a tag team division. I think it'll be a good push with Miz, knowing how long he's been in that company. And he has
yeah,
been given pushes. I know for a fact he's been given pushes. Like that moment when he was in a segment with Daniel Bryan when he retired. Like he said,
uh,
like he was there since day one, and he's like, and he made that Intercontinental Championship like it's a big freaking deal.
yeah, he did, and that's kind of like the. I think that's one of the signs of a, like you have to elevate the IC title.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
dude, like, do you remember when uh John Cena, like like when they were transitioning away from John Cena, and John Cena on the way down and out, like he became IC champion for like a good stretch, and I think the Miz got it after him,
Yeah, he did.
and then Miz had like that really good run.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely.
Yeah, I love the Miz though. People like, I know people kind of have their opinions on him, but dude, I like guys like him. Like
hmm
he's such a cartoon. Like he comes on screen, I just start like giggling. Like I just start laughing as soon as I see him.
Oh my god, that's funny, man. Yeah, no, like it took me a while to honestly like the Miz, but I think it's just like one. I just don't know. I think was one where like you were. I guess I was trying to understand what his gimmick is and stuff, and he's just a sample of other wrestlers, and I don't think it's his fault. I think it's just WWE because it's at a point now where like they're trying to do like a dupe, like copycat of their previous wrestlers, because John Cena was basically a copycat of the Hulk Hogan, you know.
Yeah, he was
Um,
lovable character. Like you had to like him, like type character.
yeah, and yeah, but he like again like there was just a lot of wrestlers, and we're at a point where now like uh oh my god, what's Austin Theory?
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's gonna be the next. He's gonna be the next guy where they're gonna push him to be the next John Cena. John Cena, because again, his background is almost the same as John's background. Like
yeah,
he was a bodybuilder. He liked. I guess he liked rap. I guess, but he didn't really push on that segment. But yeah, no, and he
like
was a huge John Cena fan too. Like John Cena was his influence when he started bodybuilding and going into wrestling.
yeah. Well, it's like Cena is now long enough and consistent enough to where it's a little bit like the LeBron James Tom Brady scenario
Oh,
where
definitely.
like kids that grew up watching LeBron James when they're like a senior in high school and then they compete against LeBron James when they go through college because he's LeBron's played for 20 years and Tom Brady like same effect where people would wake up on Sunday, put on their Tom Brady shirts, watch Tom Brady on the Patriots, and then start their own professional career and play against him on the field.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that's John Cena. Like he's been active for that long. And I love like again too people like call it the PG era, but I
Hmm.
love the like I really like that John Cena run because he got the like he did control the crowd. Like whenever he came out, it was like you knew what the crowd reaction was going to be, and I
Oh,
think
definitely.
that's valuable when it comes to like putting on the show.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
definitely. And I think what's good is that John Cena he was such a good wrestler of not only crowd control, but like he encouraged like people to even boo at him,
yeah,
and and he just played along with it. Um, I remember too that when he brought back the Thugonomics John
yeah,
Cena,
yeah,
everybody blew the hell up. I'm like,
y-
oh my god. I
yeah,
was like, it's like now everyone is like a little kid again.
yeah. Well,
It's
I think real quick too. I think people when it comes to like like the way like for example like biker mice from Mars and like SWAT cats
oh
are
my
kind of like
god.
coming back.
Yeah.
And I think people sometimes are reminded of how good something was, but when you're younger, like you might look at it like you might be jaded, but then when you're older, you're re-reminded and you kind of make up for it.
Mhm.
I think there's people right now gearing up to buy uh biker mice from Mars action figures because they kind of realize like that cartoon was as good as the turtles. Like it really
Definitely.
was. Like episode to episode, that and Street Sharks, as good as the turtles ever were. And people like discovered this stuff and then they're like, you know what? I thought it was crap when I was a kid. Let me make up for it as an adult and spend $400. Like spend a paycheck.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
look, you want to see a picture? Look, I'll show you this real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Dude, my friend sent me this, and I didn't even know he knew people. I'm just going to like zoom in like a little bit. Dude, I even know this guy knew people like this. But here, yeah, let me just remove this. And yeah, but see, like right here. So this is the Super 7 Thunder tank.
Oh my god, yeah.
So my friend sent us this in the group chat, and I didn't even know he knew people that would spend this much money for this.
Holy crap, dude.
Okay, because the thing's huge. It's like
Yeah, no,
4 feet
definitely.
long. Yeah, and dude, he sent that to me, and I'm like, people like that are destroying collecting. like, like let the Thundercats die. Okay, can we just move on from the Thundercats, please?
Oh no, they died once like Thundercats Go became a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just like, and I'm not saying like it's not of merit, but I think now I'm so much more dedicated, and I push back against this. Like everything is nostalgia. Every single movie that's in the theaters right now, Scream, Scream 6, Quantumania, Creed 3, which is essentially Rocky 9. Right, like there none of it's new, and I kind of like, I did a video like months ago where someone made a meme of all the releases every single month of the whole year, and Oppenheimer, the Christopher Nolan movie, and Oppenheimer is the guy that developed the atomic bomb. Like that's the only original movie in that entire stack of like 24 something releases, like 2 movies a month. And that's where like I'm just like, you know what, this nostalgia shit, it's gotta fucking die. Like I don't care. Like it's gotta be get over with, because how's that healthy?
Right.
Like it drives me nuts. It really does at this point. I think I'm just looking for things to get angry at.
Selective outrage.
Yeah.
You know?
It is a little bit selective outrage, but there we go. Let's add this in there.
Yeah, man. But I like what Troll was talking about. Like back in the day, I always liked Batista and a little more than I liked Cena, and it's the same thing. I think what was good with Batista, like he was like the counter, like the gosh, a plane just passing by.
Nice.
You know, it just counteracted my thought process. Like Batista was like the anti-hero, like the alternative of if you're outgrowing John Cena, Batista is your guy.
Right.
I mean, literally, his nickname is the Animal.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
sorry.
I love that. I always love that nickname too.
It's like, dude, it's like it's better than the "You Can't See Me." I remember too on the mic when they were going against each other. It's like it was one of the best quotes. Like Batista says, "Oh, I could tell, like, you know, which one of my fans are older than your fans." I'm like, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
It's like something along that line. Everyone was like going nuts.
Dude, Batista too. I think he's one of the people that when he left, right? Like WWE rewrites some of their history, but I remember when he left, and I remember when Brock Lesnar first left. There was like that chain of lawsuits, you know, because like there's always lawsuits because these guys want to use their names, and then WWE's like, look, we built your name, like you should never let us call you by like a real name or something, like you know, like you should have let us call you like Thunderwind or something, like you know, and But the thing is, though, like Brock Lesnar won his lawsuit, or that was settled outside of court, and then I think Batista lost. But there was like a lot of bad blood between Batista and WWE because Batista went into MMA for a while, and we know Brock did, but Batista was like almost like floundering, and then all of a sudden, like it was really like Guardians of the Galaxy that changed everything for him, and then they brought him back, to where he won the Royal Rumble, and that's where like everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah,
and that's where they called him Bootista because they would boo him.
Oh my god,
that's the best, Bootista though.
Blutista. Oh my
You know,
god.
and he came back with the Hollywood gimmick. Like he was
Mm.
super decked out in like like Gucci and like super nice clothings and was wearing like Versace and
Oh my
all this
god.
other
Yeah.
yeah. But and then I guess like that ended with Triple H, right? They had that like retirement match
Yeah,
with
because what
Triple
was
H.
it?
Yeah.
They brought back Evolution, and I think it was
Right.
just only. I think they were teasing like Randy Orton was gonna join, but Randy Orton went rogue because again, this was like bad blood, and I think
Yeah.
it was at a point. Yeah, I remember. You're right. Triple H was the one who ended Batista because what was it? It was one of those promos where Batista's like he went against almost all the members of Evolution, or maybe I'm
Oh,
being having a selective memory, but
yeah.
Triple H was the only one that never beated him.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's when they did the card where they're like, okay, they're gonna go against each other, and Triple H is gonna be the one to beat him, and Batista being Batista, like after, he only joins WWE to promote his movie. After the movie's out and stuff, then he's out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what people I think that was like the big pushback because people thought like The Rock did the same thing when he like came back. I think he was promoting like Fast and Furious 5 or 6 and then it was like GI Joe Retaliation.
Hmm.
But like people just saw The Rock coming back to promote movies and shortly like not too much after that Batista came back. And then they just gave everything to Batista and took it away from Daniel Bryan. And that's where people were so hell bent on him becoming. The people wanted Daniel Bryan to become champion, like which means nothing because it didn't work. like like he wasn't really that good of a champion. Like he was so much better as an underdog. Like and like like sometimes the people get what they want and it's just not good.
Hmm.
But I still love Dan. Do you remember Daniel Bryan's gimmick where he was like the environmentalist
Oh my
and
god, yeah.
and he had the the environmental belt.
Oh my god, yes.
That was
Everything
like
was awesome.
yeah
What was it?
yeah
Wood? It's just
it was
very
like wood and like
anti.
yeah
It
it was
defeats
like
the whole purpose.
sewn and weaved yeah. And dude, like I saw that, and I'm like, that's one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen, like in my entire life. And they've never made a replica of it. And I
I
thought that
know,
was
right?
replica gold. I thought like people would spend $300 for that belt because it's such a stupid, funny gimmick.
It is, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, like what was it? I want to bring up a picture of that now. Hold up here. It's so stupid. I'm giggling just thinking. Hold up. WWE like environment like it had a good name too. Yeah, here environmental belt,
I don't know. I think sacrifice is
eco
something.
belt. It was
The
called
eco
the
belt.
eco
That's
belt.
right. Oh my god.
So stupid. Here
God,
it
that's
is. Oh
perfect.
wait, it's on eBay.
What?
Someone
No
has it on
way.
eBay for $300.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But dude,
What the
look how
heck?
funny that looks.
Dude, that is perfection at its
Yeah,
finest.
I guess it could be. Yeah, it could be like 3D printed, right?
Yeah, it most likely is. Because yeah, I don't remember them ever manufacturing it because they know a lot of trees were
Dude,
sacrificed to make that one
yeah,
title belt.
right. Dude, look at that though. And
Oh
it's
my
got like the
god.
hemp. And it is wood. It is wood.
It's definitely wood.
Dude, that's so stupid. It's such a stupid thing.
I,
It's literally the best. It's and you know what too? It was such a good like heel move because people hate environmentalists.
it is.
Like like and him being like vegan or like whatever. Like there's that. Dude, so freaking smart.
Yeah, man. Honestly.
I love it though. That is the dumbest fucking thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I guess like he's I think he wrestled in that right. He had AEW
But
back.
yeah, he wrestled in AEW.
Yeah, so which is good. But he's another one too, where I get that, I understand that he got an injury, but then how bad was the injury to where when he came back, he just never slowed down or left? Was an injury a forced retirement? So
Yeah, it
that they
was like
have to.
a yeah. I think it was his neck because he had a history of having neck injuries.
Yeah, and that's because he wrestles so the way he wrestles isn't good for long term because
Oh
he
yeah, no,
jumps, he
definitely.
flips, he there's a lot of shock and absorption. The way it's the same as the ECW stuff where
Oh, definitely.
the nature of how those guys wrestled. You're just wow, how can this company ever build talent and retain and keep talent because everyone kills themselves. like
Yeah.
like
No,
yeah, you need guys to survive for a while. They're jumping off of skyscrapers and scaffolding.
yeah, no.
But
I remember because Daniel Bryan, his move was, I believe it was his finisher or his go-to signature was a diving headbutt. And
yeah,
because of doing that, that's when, the injuries occurred of his neck and stuff. So, and I think it was yeah, no, it was just a number of things, but yeah, no, he did so much insane stuff in Ring of Honor.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, man. I mean, Ring of Honor has such a pool of talent. It is ridiculous. There's like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, even though now he's controversial as we speak. Who else?
I'm tr-
Kevin Owens,
yeah. It was what's his name?
Sami
Mox,
Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Yeah, was Mox or was what's his name? The other guy from the Shield. The
Oh, Seth Rollins.
well, oh wait, was Seth Rollins? I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
Seth Rollins was, yeah, but he had like a different name.
yeah, but and the other guy. Who's the other guy?
The
He
other
was
guy,
yeah, the other guy from the Shield. Keeps
Roman,
not Roman.
Roman
The
Reigns.
third guy. Yeah,
Oh, I know what you're talking about, John
who's
Moxley.
that? Yeah,
John
yeah,
Moxley.
Moxley. Right, Moxley.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, Moxley was another dude who was.
he's fun.
I kn-
The real quick for him. Did you ever see that Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast? That interview where, and it's when he's champion, and he just Stone Cold kind of calls him out because he's not enthusiastic about being champion. He's kind of whatever. And
oh
Stone Cold's
wow.
hey, you're the company now. You can't have that attitude. And he calls him out on it. And it
Yeah.
was on the freaking network.
Oh my God.
And you're just shit.
I
Don't
think
do
that's.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I think that's when. Yeah, I think once that happened, I think that's when his career started pulling down badly. Um, I remember I watched did you know type of videos, well, not
Oh
videos but
yeah, yeah.
shorts. There was this one time, this last match that he teamed up with the Shield and stuff, right? And John Moxley has been paid so low. I mean, so low for this reunion tag team match.
Oh,
He
okay.
got paid $500.
What?
$500 for that reunion match. The last Shield match we will ever see.
Yeah.
And dude, it's how are you going to survive coming back home and having food for $500?
Yeah, you need to transportation alone. 500 could be a ticket
Dude.
to go. Yeah, dude. But that was something too that I guess it didn't they flirted with a full reunion a couple times. Between the three of them because the three of them were all trading the Universal and Championship.
Yeah.
And they were kind of teasing when one would go down. They would kind of tease Mox coming in or Seth coming in and then put them against each other. And that was kind of fun, but
Mhm.
they never kind of had that that super reunion like crazy good run. Like
Right.
they really never did. And I don't want to say like it's a hole in the company, but you kind of see that as even like 5 6 years from now, then like they can get back together and people would just like again because maybe 10 years went by since they broke up and like
Right.
like you get that bump, you get that 10-year bump and people will just go crazy for it. And I think they're smarter with that stuff now.
Yeah.
We got Joe Dent in here. I tried some vegan food. Fuck, I never rinsed my mouth out. Yeah, if you're in. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one time we did a video couple like back when I started YouTube. We did like food videos,
Uh-huh.
and I think my friend of mine brought over like hot sauce, and we were going to do like nuggets and hot sauce. Like I think we were
Oh my
calling it
god.
like hot nugs, like we were calling it hot nugs, and for some reason I don't know what happened, but like we ended up with vegan chicken nuggets, like
Oh god.
non chicken
Oh.
chicken nuggets, and I'm not joking, dude. I still have like a bad memory and a bad taste in my mouth
Oh jeez.
because the hot sauce was like so hot and and the vegan nuggets were like they were horrible. There was nothing satisfying about them. And
Mhm.
dude, like I never looked back at that point. I'm just like this food cannot be healthy if it makes me feel like this.
What was it? Were they like chickpeas or something?
No, they were like well, we later because part one of the gags we did in these videos, we would go through like the ingredients. Because like there's an order and there's a science to read the ingredients because you can
Yeah.
see like the way that they're listed really tells you like the amount of what's in like so like the
Oh
first couple
god.
things listed is what's most in that. Like so if it's something that says like we're chicken nuggets and then like the first ingredient could be like beef pork byproduct, then like there's more beef and more pork byproduct than chicken in that like chicken nugget for example, like and I think it was like beans, like it listed things that you would know. It was like beans like garbanzo chickpeas, like just stuff like that, but it tasted horrible. uh like the I
Ugh.
remember like the cross section, it was maybe like gray, like it didn't and I'm like people knock McDonald's chicken nuggets because they're colored differently. Like how's that any different? like
I don't know, man.
like it's
It's
so crazy, yeah, but that food like can mess with you. I don't care what people say.
yeah, no. I had was a plant protein, like one of these
Oh yeah, yeah,
like one of these bars, right? It's a no cow brand, and like I got it at a deal. Like it was like $12 at a vitamin
uh,
shop. So I'm
yeah,
like, all right.
I've done deals like that before too.
So I'm like, okay, like let me try this whole plant protein thing, whatever, right? It's like 1 gram of sugar, so I'm like kind of concerned, but whatever. It's not like the 1 gram of sugar I was concerned of. Is like what the taste is, and it was like cookies and cream, and I love
Yeah,
cookies and cream flavor,
yeah,
so I'm like,
yeah,
okay, it might be decent.
I'm in.
Oh my god. I had to tell my brain this tastes good because I ate dirt. That was
Yeah,
nothing. I taste no cookies and cream. I just tasted dirt. I felt like there should be 5 grams of sugar just to make
yeah,
it a little bit sweet. Cause dude, I don't care
yeah,
what they say about plant protein. I'm sorry, you cannot beat wheat wheat protein or freaking actual meat from a freaking cow that you can
yeah. It
our
should.
ancestors has hunted over the years.
Yeah, it should always be like one of the rules of thumb when it comes to that stuff that I like. Again, it took me like probably like 10 years of going to the gym to like figure out is like supplements are supposed to supplement what you're not consuming. So meaning like let's just say for example you're not eating enough magnesium.
Yeah.
Okay, supplement magnesium. Take a
Mhm.
pill and the list goes on. And I do feel like that there's like this obsessive culture around protein powder because what you can absorb throughout the day, you're maxed out. Like like it's kind of like 40 grams like an hour or something like that.
Right.
It's not, which really isn't a lot. Okay. And like people kind of are so obsessed with the protein powder that they ignore eating. And it's where like at that point, and you live in a state that's great with like things like burritos, like like eating bean burritos,
Yeah.
like would almost be equal to like a protein scoop. And they kind of always say like it's better to eat first and supplements later. And
Hmm.
people just incorporate these like supplements as part of like quote unquote like lifestyle. And
Hmm.
all of my supplements now are performance based,
Right.
and vitamins and minerals. I haven't had any whey protein in maybe at least 4 years now.
Wow.
And but what I take though, I take workout gear. Like I take I take things to increase my energy and to increase my blood flow while I work out. So if I'm damaging my muscles, there's enough blood flow to come in and repair. And then
Okay.
always when I'm done my workouts, like I do like the sugar spike, I get the glycogen, and like you get that with like sweet potatoes and stuff like that. And I usually blend sweet potatoes now in my shakes. It's like sweet potatoes and poured egg whites. And
Mm.
poured egg whites are way more better than you, like pasteurized egg whites, way much better than protein powder.
Mm.
Because like it's still egg, like you're eating egg and you're not
Yeah.
eating like something that's synthesized.
Mm.
So but I got like I really kind of like once I realized I could get muscle growth without the protein, dude, like I started to get muscle growth, believe it or not. And but given to my workout habits are
Right.
always changing and evolving too. And also I could have plateaued at one point and changed my workout, like to get more juice out of it. You
Right.
know, so but like what's your like are you still like working out regularly? Like are you still like I know you're kind of working out every day at the job, but are you like going to the gym? Are you doing stuff?
I'm kind of slowing down with the whole workout thing, so that way I can like do more work for like coloring gigs and stuff, and like
Yeah.
even doing more personal projects I'm trying to work on. So, um, it's like yeah, like like right now it's been like 2 weeks I've been out of the gym, but I'm gonna
Okay.
get back
Yeah.
at it. I'm gonna get back at it Monday morning. Just do my usual early morning before going to work, and I do take what is it MMA classes.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that,
oh yeah,
dude.
no, that one's new. So
Oh, why, dude? That is like so. Like it's almost like the gym for you is like it's almost just like you can like you're so physical already. It's
yeah,
almost as if like you like your objective when you go lift the weight should be almost like bodybuilder stuff, where
exactly.
like like you already have cardio, you're already activating your B2 fibers or your fast twitch fibers. Okay,
Hmm.
so like all that's already being activated. If you're doing MMA, you're doing like jujitsu, you're doing a lot of push, you're doing a lot of like gravity based, like strength based movements. So
Exactly.
at that point, it would just be like cosmetic stuff, meaning, hey, I'm going to blast my shoulders. Like, I'm just going to like do, like 1,000 curls during this workout and go home because you don't need the cardio, you don't need the warm up, you don't need anything other than like to do vanity stuff. Like, hey, I'm going to work on my butt. Like, I've been trying to do that for fucking all year now already
Hmm.
because I'm like, oh my god, like I really have to like blow out my butt. Like I just gotta do it. Like I want
Yeah,
things to
man.
be proportioned a certain way. Like so I'm like there kind of like in my gym, I'm like doing all the shit that the girls do. And like and I'm like looking what the girls are doing. I'm like, you know what? I was like, that's a good movement. Like I'm copying that. People are probably like this guy's
Hmm.
like a total fucking creep. Like, no. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
learn.
I mean, you shouldn't learn how like was it like how women do exercises because again, like women like our bodies are so different and that like how we build muscle is going to be way different how they build their muscle and like your
Yeah.
body and it's true like even like how they got these big peach bodies like like most of the
They
fat is
all, yeah.
collected on over there and it's all based on you know like the evolution of how our like evolution and as well as like genetics of you know far away from our ancestors of how we become how we are now in this space.
No, no, dude. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Saggy glutes won't impress the girlies. Dude, 1,000%. Anybody who eats printed needs oversized greasy lamb chop. Yes. But no, he's Joe Dent does right here, like in the chat.
Hmm.
He does have a freaking point. Like it is symmetry. It's bodybuilding first. It's having like appeasing body, like when people like see you, it's how your clothes fit, all of it,
Hmm.
and but your dude, like like again, like there's a gap between you and myself, but you're at the phase where you can just like go 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 go, and your body's going to recover so much better than mine. Like
Hmm.
you're like you can really beat yourself up, and as long as you're not doing anything stupid as of challenging your joints and like backflipping off of houses and shit like that, like
Right.
no backyard wrestling, okay,
Gosh
like
dang it.
yeah,
I
like
just signed an exclusive contract, man. Now you're
yeah,
telling
right,
me
yeah,
this?
yeah, now he says it, shit, yeah, but no, it's like you can recover,
Yeah.
like your cells are in their prime, recover all day, recover all night, and use it to your advantage. Because, dude, I got in when I got serious about going to the gym. I was like way past my prime, like
Right.
what that should have been. Like that's the freaking truth. So, but at the same time, it gave me a reason to kind of be strict and be disciplined and make it a priority because
Right.
I just felt like I had to make up for lost time. So no
Right.
mistakes type stuff.
Definitely.
But dude, your sketch work's looking pretty good there.
Thanks, bud.
Like you're so much looser and fast than before.
Yeah, no, I love honestly, dude, I love the sketch phase than anything else. I'm just doing it by imagination.
Yeah,
So
no, dude, it is there. I love it. Yeah, I think Joe Dent has the comment of the evening with the saggy glutes.
saggy glutes is never good. And also flamingo legs. Gotta work on
Yes,
those legs, man.
dude, I got like I don't know what things are like where you are. Well, I spent enough time in Florida, so I kind of know. It's still not as bad as Philly, and the
Hmm.
reason is because people wear shorts only half of the year. like like they can hide their legs, like they
Yeah,
can,
they
and
can.
you will see here in Philly, you will see the most balanced upper bodies you can imagine,
Right.
and you can even tell by like the joggers and the like kind of like more of those like spandex pants where men
Yeah.
here even during the summer they'll wear like 3 layers on their legs. It'll be
Oh
like
man.
spandex will have like the MMA shorts, and then they'll have like board shorts, and everything goes right to the knee, like they hide as much as possible.
Right.
And I'm the opposite. Like I'm running around with like Larry Bird shorts with my like dick flapping out.
Oh my god.
Like I don't give a shit. Like like I'll show off my legs. Fuck you. Like
Yeah, right.
like dude, like but I think that's a part of it, and I do feel like uh speaking with the girlies, dude, I think the girls notice that shit.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, dude. Like the girlies know. Like again, the girls are when you think guys are like the only ones in the species that would check out whenever a girl passes by, girls do the same crap, but they're way worse.
They are, dude. They're savages. dude.
I
Like
know
there's been times where we've been like day drinking in Philly and just watching people go by because like we're sitting outside and stuff. And dude, like it is like everything's like a fucking like comment. Even the dog doesn't get any like much of a break. Like not the right dog walks by, the fucking dog gets trashed. It's just like holy shit. Like like we're doomed. Like this world is doomed.
Oh my god.
Dude, savages, man. Like they fucking you know, they
Yeah,
just don't fucking care.
yeah, no, they have no filter, man.
It's funny though. It's funny sometimes though when yeah.
No, it is, man. It is.
But dude, that's so what's the like what type of MMA like are you right? Like we're getting belts, we're doing all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, like the MMA that I'm taking is like it's MMA slash kickboxing, but
Yeah.
I forgot what the specifics because my let me see. I'm gonna look at the page now because there's a specific like
Like type
lem-
of yeah, like I
yeah.
know they all have like name like subtitles almost. Like they all have like unique like forms and shit that they're named after.
See, I'm trying to find my. I'm gonna look. Okay, so it's Dutch style kickboxing.
Okay. I do.
Yeah,
What is that exactly? Why is it Dutch?
I, I don't know, man. I'm learning it too, bro. I've been doing it for like maybe 3 months, and I just followed like my sensei, and he does
Yeah.
MMA. He does Dutch style. Like I'm looking at his like Instagram. It's like I don't even know, but
Like
uh,
I think Dutch is like a stance, right? It's
mhm.
got to be like the way you're positioned to like kind of like southpaw type something. It's got to be because right, like isn't it like I remember back when I used to play sports, you like Dutch was a comment on how you were like positioned. People would say like Dutch style,
Yeah, I think it's
like
just a different like kick. I think it's just different. I guess it's just to separate it from Muay Thai because
yeah, yeah,
it's like almost the same. I want to say the same because I'm still learning like martial arts and stuff, but I guess it's just to separate them from confusing it for Muay Thai because dude, those Muay Thai people they don't play, man.
yeah.
And
That's such a more brutal style. Like I know that. I know Muay Thai is just like unforgiving.
those guys that learn Muay Thai that they do it like it's like life to them. And the
Yeah.
reason why I would know is uh like Jason David Frank, like I'm telling you
Oh yeah.
that dude no, he's well respected within the martial arts community. Like he got medals and everything. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
he knows all these like martial arts, and he even like has his own karate schools, and he even learned like he even created his own martial arts thing too.
Yeah.
And he did fights like when he was off the TV
Yeah.
show and stuff. He was doing fights and all this stuff. Like he knows Muay Thai. Like he went against Muay Thai guys, and they
Yeah.
get pissed off at him because he is beating guys that did this when they were kids. And here's
Yeah.
this guy, this American, beating them up, and he's ready to fight all the other Muay Thai people because they're getting pissed off. Because again, like the more you know the martial arts, the better you are when you're on the mat because you're going to be really unpredictable. It's a difference between learning one thing, but if you know like how Jason David Frank learned, oh,
Yeah.
you're going to be hard to be predictable in these fighting matters.
Dude, it's do you remember like when he was I remember like when cuz like I want to say like when I first started like kind of like like coming to age on social media,
Mm-hmm.
like his like MySpace or one of his accounts was like one of the first accounts I followed. And
Oh wow.
he had like didn't have like that the cuz it took him like 10 years of going to like conventions to build up this like base. like this fever that was around them.
Hmm.
And the Power Rangers were deader than disco for a stretch also. Like,
Right.
like everything kind of disappears for a while. And I remember him doing MMA fights and posting like training videos, and he had a tattoo that said Jesus doesn't tap.
Yeah.
Like and that was like all the pictures you saw of him at one time. Like there was no way to see a picture of him that where he wasn't shirtless with the Jesus doesn't tap stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember I went I remember I started following him around 20, I don't know, it was '09 or 2010, but dude, like when he was doing competition for MMA, he was big and jacked and full of
yeah,
tattoos, like sleeved tattoos all around. So of
yeah.
course, like I'm like, yo, is this the same guy? You know,
Well, I think some of it though is the idea that they are separating themselves of
of the
like a
brand.
bad stigma. And
Yeah.
Power Rangers was did not, dude, it took Power Rangers the longest time to resonate and come back, but it was just like Star Wars. Like people forget that Star Wars had this blackout period, but once it came back, it never went away. And
Hmm.
that's a little bit of like the pattern to look out for, because Dragon Ball Z went away for a while, came back. Pokemon went a while. Like all these things disappear, and this is what I'm talking about. Like sometimes when I say things like Quantumania,
Hmm.
right? Like we don't know about the absolute type of success or failure it is, because like that's going to sit on streaming for the longest time, and people are going to discover something like Quantumania, and 10 years from now they might rediscover it, and it might be like a completely different thing, because like Ghostbusters too, like blacked out for the longest time, and now people are like, you can't go into a Target without something Ghostbusters in your face, which is
Hmm.
like another effing thing. But here we go. Troll Heyman, I think Dutch style kickboxing is just like Thai boxing without the elbows and knees. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I
like
remember
that.
like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember in one of the moves that we were learning, I think it was knee. It's a little bit of elbows, but there was just not a lot. It was just mostly just punch, low
Dude, I
kick,
love it though.
punch, medium kick,
Yeah.
punch, now high kick.
Dude, I still love it. Yeah. Dude, I like so and what got you like what was the point where you were like, I'm doing this? Like how did that come about?
I think it's like one like my buddy, because my gym buddy, like then he started like expanding, and anything
Yeah,
that he's doing, he's pushing me to do it,
good. Yeah.
and yeah, so I have a really good buddy, and I think too like once Jason David Frank unfortunately passed away, I think it was just another reason for me to like
Yeah.
get into it, because I don't know, I think it's just another way for me just to like it like honestly, like when I even did like karate, it was because of him, you know.
Yeah.
I might have
Dude,
joined out of the wrong reasons, but
no,
I,
well,
I,
like not really, dude, because you have to let things inspire you. Like
yeah.
if you're not receptive to things, you're literally a fucking like I don't want to say slug, but you're kind
Hmm.
of like sleepwalking and you're dream walking, and then again, like you get some years underneath your belt, like go through some of these things, and then you'll be in a different zone, but you'll speak with people that don't do stuff like that.
Right.
You'll speak with people that have the wife, the house, like the kid, and some of this is like Fight Club type talk, but
Yeah.
you'll get people like living these lives, and then you almost see like this like moment. You'll see this like little bit of this like, I don't want to say like desperation, but they're just like there's no way for them to start going to the gym. There's no way for them to maybe play tennis or pickleball
Hmm.
or like and they're just like repeating everything every single day and slowly losing themselves. And
Right.
the more you can do physical, the more you have the idea of like getting inspired, the more people you have around you to push you into things that you would never normally do.
Yeah.
Like dude, like that's one of the best things about like going out with girls and dating is like you'll eventually date a girl that's so into a type of food that you have to like it. Like
Yeah.
you might be like, I hate dim sum. I hate sushi. And you might be so into this girl, you're gonna be like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to go all in.
Yeah, right.
I'm going
So you
to
just
eat
gotta
this
take
shit for
one for the
3
team.
weeks. Yeah. Like, but that's good stuff though. Like, and and people push back against that. They're like, I'm not changing for anyone. It's like, fuck that, dude. Like, change. Like, let it happen. Like, you're better for it as long as a person's like, uh, you have to kill someone for me because you love me. Okay, that don't do that. That's bad change. That's committing a capital crime. Okay, like, but if someone's like, you should watch this movie. I love this movie. You should read this book. I love this book. Fuck
Right.
yeah. Like, yeah, dude. Like, I think the people that are afraid of being like that are the ones that tell you the opposite. We got Joe Dent. Oh, here Joe Dent with a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a solid question. How do we know each other?
All right. So I know on my side of the story how I met with aka Pad when I followed, oh my god, what is it called? It was an artist that has this really cool sci-fi book where like basically it's just this dude with it's basically outer space vampires that's gonna take over the
Oh,
world.
Carl Rove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Karl
Okay.
Rove.
Yeah, Carl Rove. Yeah.
Yeah, and
What
I
happened to
remember
that dude? It's real quick.
okay, so he went like he was like out of the space, but like I think
Yeah.
after a year he came back and now he went back and did fulfillment for the book, and everyone's getting their books. I remember
Okay.
that. So
Dude, that book looked awesome.
yeah, no, it definitely. I mean, again, he was doing everything.
Dude, I
So
I completely forgot about that. Dude, I remember I did see a post from him, like posting something. I think I commented like, "Good to see you're back," but that was even a while ago.
yeah, what was it?
Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Carl.
so I remember that you did this fan art, and I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Because it was like, I was just blown away with the art style. It was '90s, a lot of cross hatching, and the coloring too. So I was like, dude, like I gotta know this guy. It's like, what does he do? And then I see your stuff with like, it's like this book called Trial by Fire. I'm like, oh my god, these characters look so sick, and I'm learning how to color too, and I'm getting into the '90s thing. So like I even like got some books, and I think like um yeah, I think I got from like Comixology some like books
Okay,
from like
yeah.
Jim Lee and like any '90s book that I could read, and then I just like screen cap, and then I just use the magic. Was it the freaking what was it called? It's like I'm gonna use what the heck is this tool called? Basically, like I'm just grabbing all these colors and creating my own color swatches.
Oh yeah, yeah, like a color picker.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. There
yeah,
you go. I
yeah,
used a
yeah,
color
yeah.
picker to grab all these like colors that looked really nice and unique, and then I'll just use it as my own coloring set. Now I just don't do it anymore. Like I just do my own thing. Um, but back then, like I was very committed. Uh oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, okay. You're still there.
yeah, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I swapped out the. I just repossessed. I
Damn,
wanted
that
some
looks
of my.
good, man.
I wanted the flock to kind of take up some of this.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it looks good. So back to the story.
Y-
So I was like, I had my own coloring set, like '90s and stuff, and then I was like, I think I grabbed, I think I went, I don't know how I got the color scheme from your comic. I think you were teasing it, and there was like,
Yeah,
I was digging to find some black and white, and I think it was Pitbull and the other character.
might have been
Uh,
Davidson or Meatball.
I don't think I got. mm, No, Davidson. I didn't get Davidson or Meatball. I know that they were. What was the other one? It was like a tag team buddy of Pitbull. He was like the jokester.
Oh, Anzio.
Anzio, there you go.
Yeah,
So
the
I
character
I
that no, like even the real person that Anzio is like based on,
yeah.
like I tell him that all the time. I'm like, no one fucking cares about you. Like, no one cares about you. No one cares about your fucking comic book character.
Yeah, so like so I colored Pitbull and Anzio, and I think um yeah, like I DM'd you the coloring, and I don't know, and I remember like a few weeks or maybe even a few months like after I posted a teaser for Pro Wrestling Gators, and it was around the time of COVID, so like I was again, it was like an anthology of other creators. It was big creators too in the indie scene that were involved with it, called
Yeah,
the Corona Kings. It was Corona Kings. So
dude,
I
that's so
asked if
funny. Yeah,
so then, and the whole thing was like, creators coming together to create this anthology. So I was talking to the guy who was in charge of it, and I asked like, oh, like can I be part of it? And he's like, yeah, like what's your thing, like whatever, like what's your
yeah,
comic? So I'm like, so I literally thought on the fly of all the influencers and all the creators I was hanging out with, and that's when I was thinking of like Pro Wrestling Gators. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, what's the coolest thing that that's other than like that's close to a dinosaur, a gator. Cool. What's cooler than a ninja? Freaking pro wrestling.
yeah, yeah,
Like, and all these ideas were like, shotguns. So like
yeah.
I remember I grabbed a page from Kevin Eastman, and it was like one of those how to draw the turtles, and it was just like
Okay.
Leonardo just having his arms like that. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a homage and whatnot. So then I did this quick sketch, whatnot, and then I respond back to him saying, "Oh, like Pro Wrestling Gators, like like something is
Yeah,
coming out of the Florida Everglades, from the swamps of the Florida Everglades, and whatever." He's
yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool, or
Perfect.
whatnot."
Yeah,
And I remember like there was another comic creator who was a writer, and once he announced like the Corona Kings, like the writers said like, "Oh, like I'll help out anyone that." That wants help with writing their comic and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm hitting you up since we already follow each other.
yeah. Dude, speaking of
So
so, yeah, but real quick too. Speaking of some of that stuff, like anthologies and this and that, part of like like you kind of know about like my policy, which is like, hey, like
yeah,
I'll do work if you're publishing. Like if someone's publishing, like I'll do whatever you need, like type thing. Like I don't fucking even want to like charge it. Like I don't give a shit. And
yeah,
and some of that came from around that time where I did two stories for like two separate anthologies,
hmm,
and both of them were um like they just disappeared.
holy crap,
The people,
no,
like everything disappeared from those, and like the Facebook groups kind of like deleted,
oh my
and
god,
there's only like information on the leftover LinkedIn pages. And even there, like you go, like you'll have people's names and Twitter handles, and like those were kind of gone. And even like this one guy, dude,
wow,
like I had his email, and I would email him like just every once in a while, like checking in, acting like nothing's up, acting like everything's normal, and just kind of like you try and be slick about it. Like, hey guy, I just found some new applesauce. What do you think about applesauce?
what do you think
Like
about
finding like
episode?
any reason to like reach out to like these
Yeah,
people.
right. Oh
Yeah,
my
and
god,
that's kind of where like that policy came from, because around that time, and I think cycling back a little bit to our earlier conversation about like the changing landscape, and dude, like I really do have to say, like I'm guilty of it myself with Trial by Fire, like for sure,
hmm,
because it's just been like way too long at this point. But but there's been like somewhat significant like projects that never really happened, and I would say like proportionally a lot of them are anthologies, because
right,
they'll get like 20, 30 different creators, and all of those people will kind of get friends to buy the book. You know, and that's how they get like some good numbers for anthologies. It's
Yeah.
like you include a lot of people, and it's almost like a pyramid scheme, or like not a pyramid, not a pyramid scheme, but like what's that? Like the person, the peer to peer marketing.
Okay.
Also a pyramid, like also a pyramid scheme, but it's like you're getting people to recruit people,
Right.
and you know, like, and that's also a reason why I kind of don't like anthologies because I just think it's like the idea of like one voice, one book, like one
Right.
voice, one work. Like I love that idea, and I just feel like anthologies were in the age of like even Marvel and DC. They do so many anthologies now. You know, like you're just this. Like I picked up that. Remember that Stanley Just Imagine that you sent me?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, which is so funny that they did that because like that was number one my fucking thing. Whatever, that was supposed to be like my weird thing that I like, but you know I can't even have that anymore. But they so I saw that at the comic shop, and I'm like cool, like let me pick this up. I'm like whatever, it was like $10, which is way too much, but I'm like let me just buy it because you know, and I flipped through it and it's all anthology, like
Oh
it's all just
shoot.
like short stories. I'm just like, you know what? Like I don't know what this is. Like no, like if this was even if it was one story with different people drawing it, that I would be fine with that. But it's just this anthology thing, and then Marvel had one too, and I want to say it was like a Deadpool book that I kind of picked up, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this looks, and the same thing happened. I'm like, oh, these are all just dumb short stories. I'm done with it, but
Right.
whatever. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted there.
No, it's all good. Yeah, no. So I think once I announced about my my idea, that's when you followed me, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, I can freaking network with this guy. You know, I think I could actually DM you. I don't know how. I think maybe like it was Instagram where I was able to DM you because I think you had your
Oh,
DMs closed.
yeah, there was like there's been even recently on Instagram too. I like had to re-verify again, and it was
Okay.
like locked. It was like completely locked, you know, and even there like I knew people were like messaging me and stuff, and I couldn't even like I don't know if it periodically does that, but I had a similar trouble with Twitter too, where it just didn't seem like I was receiving messages or sending messages, and I would go to people's pages that I could message. I don't know, dude. It's social media, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. But dude, like that's yeah, and that's it. And then we kind of so let me touch on that real quick. What's happening with the Gator stuff?
Yeah, the Gators. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be working on it soon once I finish the flock and some other
Yeah,
commissions. I'm still debating whether to even do like um physical, which would be a big bonus, or just to like just to what's it? Just another way, just for me, just to like try it out. I've
yeah,
invested on like the David Finch, like how to create like a comic page and stuff, and it's so good. Like
okay,
I created like notes and stuff, how he drew and all these little notes here and there. And since I know how to color, I'm good. I think it's just the only thing is like lettering and all that stuff. I think that's the only thing I'll be learning next. But yeah, no, the Gators. Trust me, the Gators are going to be
still yeah.
coming.
It's like I guess like more or less I was just asking if it's like still on your radar
No,
because I just
bro,
haven't.
trust
I
me.
don't think I've seen a post from it, also, but
Yeah, no, the Gators.
yeah,
The Gators. Trust me. It's like every time I think of them, it's like it's never ending. I can literally like do one-off stories of them, and I
yeah,
think it's just fun. I just want to bring it out so that way, because I think the worst thing you could do is like you talk about it and you
yeah.
don't do anything about it. You just hype them up for nothing.
Yeah, like I used to kind of look. I like we're kind of congruent on that, but there's also a side where, um, like because it makes me think. Like right? Like what we have to compare what that thought is to a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Number one would be like the first two things that come to mind would be like I kind of grew up and I read nothing but interview magazines, right? Like Rob Liefeld interviews, Steven Spielberg interviews. I came up during the Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith type like era. So, like any documentation on those people, I would go to the bookstore, sit in the bookstore all day reading that stuff, buy it, bring it home. And the one thing that I kind of never realized until recently, like, and some of this too was just my trial by fire, like recollection, like me just um figuring more about that out. Okay, just out of like me not fulfilling it. Okay, and I kind of realized that Rob Liefeld notorious for talking about projects that never happened, like running
Right.
ads in his books that never happened. Steven Spielberg. There's so much information on movies that he was supposed to make that he freely spoke about. Same with Quentin Tarantino. Like I still remember Quentin Tarantino talking in interviews about directing a Star Trek movie that they were going to do, and so when me and you are on like and you and I are just the examples, but we're on social media and we're trying to build an audience and get people excited. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
like you have to venture into some of these ideas so people can see them. Like it's just that like right like not everything's a tweet. Some things have to be visual. So you engage in the idea. You go in, you say, hey, like here's my Crypt character. I 3D printed him. He's going to be a comic book. But then maybe like there's still not enough interest. But you said he was going to be a
Right.
comic. Okay, but there's like in my heart of hearts, I know there's not enough traction here. I have to now try this thing, and I think that's the one of the thoughts that I was disconnected with for a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay to talk about something. It's okay to engage in something. Um, and the process because like I maybe we were talking about it too like a little bit earlier where um like I'm talking earlier today where like there's a lot of people that are doing books right now that should not be doing books. Like their books
Mm-hmm.
are over. Like they did a few issues, their books are over. They have to move on to another idea because they're trying to get that pop. And it's better to play the lottery with new ideas rather than thinking you have to do the next perfect issue, if that makes any sense. And I think people get locked in, and I'm so guilty of that. Like no joke, I'm so freaking guilty of locking into some of my stuff because I feel like I'm obligated. Like like I
Right.
feel like I'm cheating, and maybe I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. Like maybe the idea is to put things out there and have a way to know what the market wants based on what you're putting out there. Like, and there's no app today, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, if you convert everything to a business account, you can see the analytics behind your posts. And if you do enough posts about something, you can really see people are spending time. Business accounts, you roll in that advertising dollar, advertise some of these things because like that's a little bit more fair and accurate to finding out like what works. Like engage in that, and then I think these other things can kind of go away. Because no one's fucking yelling at Steven Spielberg over a movie that he said he was going to make in 1989.
Right.
Like no one's like you motherfucker, like you promised me that movie, like you motherfucker. Hey,
I,
like, but real quick. But speaking of wrestling, right? Like Ric Flair never wrestled Hulk Hogan, while both of them were in their prime in
that's
WWF.
crazy, man. It's
Like
crazy.
that never happened, and that never happened because they thought it was not going to pop from a poor performance in house shows, so they ditched it. But no one's like, I'm never watching WWE again. That never happened. Like WWE's like, we knew you would not maybe like it, so we went another way. Like
Right.
and that's us. Like that's how we think. That's what we have to do. So anyway, so that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Speech is over. We're done.
Let me see. Yeah, Joe Dent just asked a question.
Yeah, let's see. What is Joe Dunn saying?
Are the Gators like a funny animal kind of thing, like Cerebrus or TMNT? I love that stuff. Good luck with see with it, man. I'll buy a copy when it's ready. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, dude.
dude. Speaking of Gators, I am still all for the idea of us doing a green colored bootleg based on those all green, all card
Mhm.
stock, just the origin based on those layouts that you and I guess maybe at this point went over 2 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I was in my second place, my second Philly place.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
moved. Yeah, I moved since then.
That's crazy. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
yeah,
Wow.
dude. Like at the beginning of, I'm sorry, like at the beginning of not this February, the February before,
Okay.
that was a little bit of like my streaming slowdown because
Mm,
the first time I moved, like since you knew me, there
yeah.
was no gap. There was no gap in me working because um like it was just different, okay? And this time like I moved in with the girlfriend. So
Okay.
there was like, like it took me a long time to figure out how I was going to work, how I was going to do things, like all of it. And then along the way, like COVID happened, I got COVID, like all these things stacked up. But it
Damn.
all like originated from me not like hitting the ground running from the move. And because it got complicated. It wasn't like moving things into the same like unit wasn't complicated. Like moving all of our stuff into boxes into a place wasn't complicated. It was unpacking and like the living part of it. And
Hmm.
me, like I work around where I live.
Right.
Like I'm working like all the time. Stuff like it was just stuff like that, and it took me the longest time to get into even the rhythm at drawing pages and stuff like that. It took the longest time, and like I felt like I did lose a lot,
Right.
but then I kind of knew once I got my rhythm back, it was going to be like crazy. Which I think it's like now, like I'm like probably already doubled my live streams for this year than last year.
Right.
Like now, like I've already, but no, but yeah, it's been about 2 years though.
That's crazy, man. It's already
Yeah,
been 2 years. Holy crap.
yeah.
Um. Oh, I think I didn't answer this.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
Joe.
sorry. Yeah, yeah,
It's all good.
we're like we're all
Yeah.
over the place here. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, and you're doing the Gators right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Dude, look at that.
yeah, no, I got the dude named Tovio. I was so happy to discover this guy. So, and I was so happy to get. There was so much feedback of Todd, man. It is ridiculous. It's just
Nice.
so. I got really good feedback. Because again, it's such a struggle because whenever you do character design, like whenever you show with your buddies or your circle, they again, it's just all about positivity and stuff,
Yeah.
and they say good things. But now that I had Tovio, when I got that commission from Tovio, and what's good about him is like he will share whatever like he posts
Yeah.
of a commission. I got genuine feedback of other people, and all I hear was like, "Oh, this looks like Killer Croc in Team and T World,"
Oh,
or it
yeah.
was Killer Croc, and other stuff. And I'm like, I was happy. I was got this genuine idea. I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
like I wasn't upset. Like it looks like it's like now I felt like okay, I got genuine feedback. I feel like now I can like change this guy's design to make it more easier to identify him with.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna keep his face mask because that's like to me that's like the Easter egg of like the idea when I thought of him. It's like I
Yeah.
thought of the Gators since the day of COVID because whenever I go to a store, I'm not gonna put a face diaper on my freaking face, especially like those cheap ones. I literally use a bandana whenever I go
Yeah.
to stores.
Yeah.
So
I like I like the mask or the bandana or like the neck scarf
hmm
because it's just different. Like
yeah,
baseline stuff. Like I can't think of a gator that's like and then it's kind of funny too because they're it's like why is the gator trying to hide himself like
Yeah.
like we're going to know you're the gator like
Yeah, right. This
like
big giant dude. What are you
right
hiding, man? Because there's nothing for you to hide.
yeah and I think that's like yeah that's a little bit like it's the same as like the turtles running around in like trench coats and hats.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like okay like but no but I still think like look dude like lots happened since I got into Trial by Fire and Uzi Susie, and a lot's happened with you since like you've done the Gator stuff and some of the stuff you and I kind of spoke about with the Gators. But
Hmm.
I'm still all for it. Like once I clear out this work hump, which like after this it's going to be all Harry Penn and Uzi
Hmm.
Susie 3. But then like within like a short time span, like Uzi Susie 2 will be coming off the presses. 3 will be like gearing up. Harry Penn should be going to press. And then Trial by Fire 97 should be like really kind of like done by that point. I'm
Right.
just in like the formatting stage for the very first of those ones because that's going to be like 2 editions. But like like but you're I think we had what did we have like 12 pages like a 12-page origin idea story,
Let
right?
me look at the layouts that you gave me.
I thought it was 12. I just like I still like the gag at the end of that where um like the gators kind of like bite the chemicals
Yeah.
like like they kind of which is like so it's so funny to me because like they create themselves like it's and that's so meta compared to Toxic Avenger, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, you did like
um
13 pages and
oh
like
geez, okay.
yeah, so like I read the script to you and you just did your own thing like and I was like, dude, this guy is insane. You know?
Yeah, it's but dude, like like I'm still all for like
Mhm.
I'm even all for um doing like a mini comic Ash Kane, even if it's like partially inked. It needs to be lettered. If some of it's penciled, some of it's like inked, but have it be almost like a working sample almost.
Yeah.
Like
You just
and treat it as that like working sample. We put it out there, and sometimes like I realize when that stuff happens, like it's the same with IT stuff. Like
mhm.
some of our IT projects will be so fucking big. Like I'm not again like no exaggeration. They're like it's too much work for like the size of the team we have. But the
Damn.
thing is though, like if you get it done to a certain point and you're like hey like we're here now like we're here like we didn't think this was going to happen like at all but we're here now and at that point you're like well now we can like back off of it but we're in like the fixing stage we're in the update like like you can kind of like I guess the point what I'm trying to phrase here is like you have
Mhm.
something to work with.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes you're like okay like we're done with it though like we're all moving on doing other things and you're almost like your mind's almost cleared and a lot of times with my 9 to 5 I'm super aggressive to get to that stage
Yeah.
like I'm super aggressive to like get something done versus getting it done perfect. Like I want it done and then we can work with it. But once it's
Definitely.
like there and we can hold it in our hands, the hell with it, dude. Like, and I think
Yeah,
maybe
man.
the Gators might be that for you. Like you might have it and you might just be like, you know what? This is enough. Like I'm happy with this. This is enough. This was the idea. I'm moving on. Or you can just say, holy shit, I'm going to sell my car going to sell everything I own and go all in on the Gators.
Yeah, right. I'm
like,
gonna quit my day job.
right, yeah,
And just what was it? But yeah, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so my game plan, yeah, like literally within the 2 year or maybe even 3 years at this point, time span is just thinking of influences, there's two simple things like turtles and pro wrestling. It's like I was just brainstorming all these things, and I already got an idea what I want to do. One is going to be black and white, especially for
Yeah.
it's going to be controversial since I'm a colorist, you know. So,
Right. Yeah. That's
but
like it's going to break people's minds.
oh my god, it's like, what type of stunt are you doing at this? Um,
Yeah.
so the reason why I want to do black and white is like not because of turtles, but one is being cost effective, and I want it to be available for everyone to read it. So I'm gonna do it on Global Comics. It's gonna be like a one-off story, so everything's gonna have a beginning to end, and maybe a teaser of like maybe an upcoming villain or whatnot.
Yeah. Well,
And
like I still like the formula, and that's
mhm,
it's a little bit of like kind of what I do for like Uzi Susie,
yeah,
which is like one new villain per issue.
mhm,
Like dude, like that's the old method, that's the old style, and the Gators just like speak of that, like, and you can give them almost any villain. Like you can just make up anything. Guys from space, guys from like the center of the earth,
mhm.
guys from like New Jersey. Like you can do whatever the hell you want. Like it works.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I think like what was it? I think my motto was like, what could I do that the turtles can't? Okay, I think my gators can go out in public. Okay, but how do they come out in public? Oh, they think they're wearing costumes. Boom.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So,
and wrestling too. It's like more like they're not like ninjas are violent and sneaky and like they're assassins and wrestlers are not. They're public figures.
mhm.
Like like one like the I think that idea lends itself to like what you're saying that they're already engineered to be public figures, which is kind of
Exactly.
yeah, which is cool.
Yeah. So honestly, it's like anything that you think of turtles, it's gonna be the total opposite when you think of the gators. And I'm looking into other influence, and I think now, where this whole culture war now with the turtles, I think it's just a good time to even like bring the gators out of the swamps.
Dude, like I kind of been like I kind of wanted to do. I don't think I said it in my new video drop, but I did want to make that point in my new video of like,
Hmm.
like I did make the point that the turtle controversy was going to tear apart that franchise.
Oh, I
I
know
feel
that's for damn sure.
right, like I feel like that's done now. So that's great. Like let's move on to something new. Like why are we like why do we have to protect that? Because hey, I remember when Alec Baldwin was in the Shadow movie, right?
Hmm.
Like the Shadow was the biggest. He was bigger than the Dark Knight at one point. He was bigger
Yeah.
than Superman. He was bigger than anything. And why weren't people like no one flipped out when he disappeared? Like no one. Like he's gone now. Like no one cares about the Shadow. No one cares about Doc Savage, the
Oh my
Phantom.
god. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of characters. There was one character. Holy crap! I saw on this collectible show, and I forget the name, but he was this comic book character that the guy had this collection, and
Hmm.
this collection that he had, you would think that this thing was like Mickey Mouse. Like that's how much variety of like items that this guy had from this one character. It was like I want to say like Peabody. It like had like a funny name like that, but that character completely disappeared. Like
Right.
like we don't address that anymore. Like for some reason, Ghostbusters can't go away. It's like yes, it can. The turtles can go away. Let all of these ideas go away because the need now for like something like the Gators, like it's so important. That's a culture war. Is who can create the next biggest thing the quickest.
Right.
Like I don't. The culture war shouldn't be preserving Star Wars. That's stupid.
Hmm.
Like, why am I going to preserve Star Wars? Like, you're telling me you're going to make a better movie than Empire Strikes Back? You never will. Just move on from it. Like, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. All right, dude. Oh my god, dude. 2.5 hours. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, man. And you plan on doing it for like 30 to 40 minutes.
I know. I say that every fucking time. I say, well, let's just review some of my stuff real quick. Here we go. Remove that, and we will. What's it? This one. Here we go. We did. We worked
Wow.
on the flock.
That's nice, man.
I'll work out what's happening with the legs. I still don't know if he's going to be flying or like doing a power pose. I don't know.
Gotcha.
We'll figure that out. We made progress on Cosmo Cat here. I just really
Nice.
now just have to ink this robot, getting the battle axe chunked right into his face.
That's so sick, dude.
And like that's it though too, because we're using comic book logic, meaning a head strike for a robot kills it. Like the robot wouldn't function through the chest or something; it's going to function through the head. So, but anyway, yeah, and then this kind of frees me up. This is going to lead me to the next 2 pages on this, which I'm kind of excited. I'm probably going to like just stay up tonight and finish this page.
Yeah, man.
So. But dude, like I can't believe we did 2 hours. You know what? I wanted to show you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Coloring wise.
Okay.
Saxon Violence. Are you familiar with this?
Saxon Violence. Hold on. Let me go back to the browser really quick.
Yeah, Saxon Violence.
Holy crap, that looks awesome.
George Perez and Peter David.
Wow.
So the coloring style for this,
Okay.
I don't know. Like I've been looking at it a lot because it's mostly brushed ink. So
Okay.
it's like colored like like how my black ink. There's a whole line of colors for those, and this is brushed. Like you can kind of see like even if you get close to like her thigh here, like you see the separation.
Okay.
So I kind of been really into this over the color selection. Like the way how they make it readable and it pops and it's highly detailed and it's not computer. Like this is a traditionally created comic and I think it's some of George Perez's absolute best work. So it's insane. So I kind of been going back and forth with these issues a lot. Like look at the different colors for like the building here.
Wow. Holy crap, dude.
I just love it.
So
Like I've been
good.
really into like look at this. Like look
Wow.
the pink like the pink shadow highlights right here. Like
Love
and
it.
you can see he drew it. He drew it so it's colored a certain way.
Yeah.
But you see the separation. It's like pink, then it's yellow. So I don't know. Like I've been really into this though. And it also has nudity and things like that. Right? Gotta be a pervert. But then the other thing was coming up for all my Shazam stuff. Are you familiar with these?
Oh my god.
I did like a video where I did the oh, Jay Lee's in the house.
Jay Lee in the house.
Dude, long time. Hope all's Jay Lee, dude. Jay Lee, update us on your book. So I'm going to be going through all of these, but these are Paul Dini and Alex Ross, and these are their Treasury editions where they retell like all these like origin stories.
That's sick.
And this is like their Shazam one, and these are, I mean, I don't think anyone's done like better comic book work than what Alex Ross did for these. So he did like a bunch of them. He did JLA Secret Origins, Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth, War on Crime, Batman, and Peace on Earth, which is the one most people have seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then but for coloring, this is the one I wanted to address with you real quick. So Alex Ross started this thing. Like it's like a theme where he does the origin of a character in one color and it's monochromatic. Okay? Monochromatic comic book origins. So here. See, like Superman, origin of the Man of Steel, it's all one color.
Wow.
Then we have blue for Batman. Okay.
Mhm.
And then it goes on and on. Brown or bronze for Wonder Woman, red for the Flash,
Wow. Beautiful.
green for Green Lantern, of course.
Holy crap, man.
Look,
What the
like,
hell?
dude, it's insane.
Wow.
Like it really, but he's just using one color.
Yeah.
Like look at the Atom, dude. Like look at that. This like, and this is before like Paul Rudd did his stuff. Like this is like what you would see in the Paul Rudd movie, but like he's just like punching this dude out. It's so freaking awesome. But it's literally insane. The frequency and like the quality of the work, though it really is. But it's also a lesson on like coloring and shadow. So like yeah, I wanted to show you those earlier.
Yeah, no, that looks beautiful.
We kind of got talking, and then when it comes to just one more thing, this will be done also for Shazam. This is Jerry Ordway, and this is like his entire production. So he
Beautiful.
like wanted to reintroduce the character. He did all the artwork, but the coloring for this though is one of the things people don't talk about anymore. But it's traditional colored. We're not dealing with computers, and it really swings for the fences because the lighting detail, I think, it's next level. You know, because like there's lots of these like halo lighting, and I don't know, like I'm going to do this one, but this is probably like the best Shazam comic book anything ever. Yeah, and it just again it retells the origin because that's really the only story they can do with Shazam.
Right.
They do his origin, they wait 15 years, they do it again, and like it just and that's the cycle.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, awesome hanging out. We'll continue this, and thanks for suggesting it. Like that was such a good idea when you said that to me. And you know, thanks for the help on the secret project.
Of course, man.
Well, all right, dude. Do we have an update from Jay Lee? No.
No.
Okay, I guess we'll have to look him up on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
Because he's always got good updates with his project. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Later, dudes.
Yeah, see you.